Right, and then let's get going. Good morning. Okay, so I'm Helen Tight, and from iCare, iMove, and you are here for our class, which is our falls prevention class called Move More. Interestingly, I look slightly different today. I'm in a vest and I'm also barefoot. Barefoot comes up quite a lot with with our sessions. We always recommend that you wear a comfortable fitted firm shoe that is appropriate for you, because I appreciate not everybody is barefoot, but I did want to demonstrate being barefoot today, just in case you are one of those people that likes to whip off your flip-flops. So remember, this is falls prevention. So one of the issues we do have is people do trip over their own feet. It is not a rare thing, it's a common thing. So I just thought we'd mix it up. Okay, so behind the scenes we've got Pat and Nick today. So it's just me. You know what to do. If you need us, we need a shake of the hands, because they're just keeping an eye on you, and you may hear one of the team chip in and just keep their eyes on you. All right, so let's get going. We are week 7. For some of you, you may not have done 7 yet, but we're roughly all working on the same pathway. That means that I will start teaching a lot more out of the seat than in the seat, and that's fine too. A little bit of health and safety here. If you are stood and we are doing some movements that you're not feeling 100% confident about, there's always a wall or a chair nearby for your support. Equally, don't feel that if you're in a chair that you're holding people back, or you're not. This is your journey. So those in chairs, stay in chairs. If you're comfortable, stay there. If you want to progress, you can. And then finally, we are using, for our strength element of the session today, I'm using a tube. Many of you have just got flat bands, but this is what I've got. Okay, so we are good to go. So let's start by mobilizing the body. So Pudge, could you just get rid of the graphics for me a moment? Thank you. So is that so they can see my little feet? When I say little feet, I genuinely don't mean that. My very large feet. Okay, size 8s if you want to know. Right, okay. So we think about our form. Sit up nice and tall. Yeah, this happens when you sat on the loo, right? Or you just sat. It's really not good for posture. We need to think about going tall. And as soon as we start to sit up nice and tall, we're engaging and strengthening straight away, engaging and strengthening our postural muscles. So think about going tall. What does that look like? Can you hold this for a period of time? When we go tall, we lift up through the collarbone. We open up through the chest. We pull in through the abdominals and think as just tall, 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 tall. Allow your shoulder blades to squeeze together a little and tuck your chin a little. So the tucking of the chin is the one that we all stress about, because it just gives us multiple chins. It's just not fair. That's just the way it is. But this is life. This is our anatomy. We tuck the chin. It optimizes the power of the spine. Shoulders back and down. Long space between your ears and the tops of your shoulders, pulling through your center. So once we're here, we start to mobilize it. So we're in optimum position right now. Now we mobilize it. We're going to start at the ankles. I want you to give me a heel toe lift. Sorry, an alternating heel lift. In our falls prevention programs, we don't talk about neutral. We often go wide base. So wide base of support is fairly commonplace thing. You're safer when you've got a wide base of support, right? Okay, so you can offer options, feet narrower but not feet together unless instructed otherwise. But so you're either feet in neutral, hip width, or nice and wide, and what we're looking for is mobility of the ankle joint. Now the foot is made up of a ridiculous number of bones, even more attachments, and lots of fibre, muscle fibre, a little bit of fat, but essentially there's a lot going on. There's 26 bones in the foot to start with, so that's quite a lot considering there's 203 in the body. Okay, so if you can, think about just lifting your toes only. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Have a little conversation with them. So come on, toes. Okay, and then relax. Now, toes come in. Toes go out. Toes come in. Toes go out. 1 and 2. Nice and tall. So interesting, isn't it, that we're all starting to cave in on our posture when I'm reminding you to have a lovely big tall posture. Brace through the centre. Toes come in, toes come out. This is now an ankle, knee and hip mobiliser. So you're feeling tension or sensation in the front of your shin. That's normal. Lengthen through your spine, shoulders back and down. Well done. Hopefully, and you'll kind of give me a little wave, hopefully you'll start to feel that in the front of your shin, yes or no? Yeah? Good, 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 good. Okay, so bring your feet back to alignment and pump those heels. Toes are still on the ground, see that? The toes are still on the ground. I'm thinking about my big toe and my second toe, and I am pumping, pumping, pumping through the heels. And I'm doing that because I'm starting to engage the calf muscle. So we're really getting some movement going on. And why is the calf muscle so important? Your calves, also known as the second hearts, are responsible for squeezing the veins and sending blood flow swiftly back to the heart. So it is important we spend time working the lower limbs so we never feel dizzy. Okay, so from here, let's just rest off the flat feet. Stretch out your big toes and your little toes. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Now I want you for a minute to think about taking your weight to the outside edges of your feet and then inside edges of your feet. So we go out and in. So this is all about supination, pronation, inversion, eversion, all strange words that may have been passed over to you over time. So basically it's whether you tend to sit on the outside edges of your feet or the inside, and it's all posture related. Okay, now I want you to push your toes into the ground and then relax them. Push your toes into the ground. Can you feel things tightening further up the legs when you relax your toes? And then press your toes in and then relax your toes. So I feel, and here's a weird thing, if you press your toes and the balls of your feet into the ground, you'll feel tension coming up to your legs, but also into your pelvic floor. So your feet and ankles are connected to your pelvic floor and your pelvis and to your jawline. So there's a real connection with these three areas. I've been talking about that a lot recently. Okay, just relax off. Okay, let's just roll up the shoulders. Have a little boogie woogie. So little circles. We're mobilizing, we're getting going. Well done. You keep going. We're wiggle jiggling. Oh, gosh. Technology for you. Keep going. Reverse direction. Lovely. Da, da, da. And then release. Now do this for me. So I want you to bring your elbows forward. Now if you've got boobies and bellies, they might get in, your elbows might get in the way, but I want you to try and get your elbows to touch as if you're trying to splash water on your face. That's the look I'm trying to achieve. And then the arms go up. So we're drawing a circle with your arms. So we go out and around out and around. Lovely. Oh, you look lovely this morning. Hello.
I think there might be somebody waiting to come in the group.
Speak to Pudge.
Yeah. Pudge, can you let them in, please?
Pudge, there's no one there, Pat.
Oh, okay.
What are you hearing?
All right. Sorry?
Pat, what are you hearing?
It's all right. Don't worry. Ignore.
So by creating this movement, I don't know if you can feel this in the forearms and into the shoulders. So there's a lot of movement going on in the whole of the arm and hands. Yes? No? Yeah? So you should feel quite fatigued with that, and I expect that. Okay, now relax it. So your feet go wide. Forget about your shoulders for a second. I want you to just reach out into the front corner and back. So these are diagonal movements. On the and back, I want you to create tension. So you reach out, tension at your belly button. Reach out, tension at your belly button as you pull back in. So this is us starting to have that conversation with these deep core muscles. So we're reaching and pulling. Yes, we're still working the shoulders and mobilizing the shoulders, but we're starting to have a real good conversation with our pelvic floors here and our core muscles. Reaching out and back. Last time, out and back. Same thing, out to the side and back. Lovely. So you don't have to stay with me in terms of speed. You need to stay with me in terms of safety though, so your feet are firmly anchored into the ground. You're feeling grounded. That's the word that we would use, that you feel that you're secure from your waist down as you reach out. This helps us to create movement and mobility around the ribs. But also you're pressing your feet into the ground, which again, your feet is having the conversation with your pelvic floor and your core muscles, which is having engagement around the whole of the trunk. Okay, and then come back to center and release. Now team, we are going to finish the end of this mobility section as we rise to a stand. So let's have a look at hip walking. You can see my feet. The whole of my body is involved to walk to the front third of my chair and back again. Now this bit is critical. We need to create as much movement, a whole body movement, to be able to bottom shuffle forward and backwards. My shoulders are going, my feet are going. Lovely. Lovely, well done team. Finish in the front third, tuck your heels backwards, eye gaze forward, rise to a stand, pump your feet. Second hearts, they're working, sending blood flow up to your heart quickly so we're not feeling dizzy. This is why the law, according to iCare iMove, is when you come from a sit to a stand, you always pump your heels. Now we swing the arms. Fast or slow, don't mind. Still mobility, if we can switch cameras, Pudge. Still mobility. And at the moment, this is really more about finding your feet in stand. Okay, now let's think. We're like marching soldiers. So now, as I'm moving through the movement, so switching cameras again, Pudge, back to feet. This is marching like soldiers. I am feeling the whole of my foot lifting and lowering. So I can feel every one of those 26 bones moving to lift and to lower onto the floor. And it may feel a bit like slow motion, but I'm really getting some good quality movement as I stand. And on top of that, pull it in, engage through your center, right the way through the whole of the foot. Now, in this movement, we go slightly bigger and slightly slower. Well done. Relax, release. We come round to the back of our chair. The chair is there for our support. Feet go nice and wide. We're still bumping the heels slightly because we're still trying to bring up the heart rate until we're at a point where we can do some cardio. So my heels are lifted and now I'm settling my feet down, swiveling through the trunk. So I'm using the chair as a bit of a map for me. Hands followed along the top of the chair. So I'm twisting to the right, twisting to the left. Now, if you can, as you do this, keep your legs still. Tuck under your tail. Tuck, twist. Now, if you can see my both legs as I'm moving, that's telling me that my lower body's doing the work. So hopefully you can just see one leg and then a twist. This becomes middle of the body as we rotate side to side. And I'm just squeezing and lifting through my chest, squeezing my shoulder blades together as I rotate. My knees are slightly bent and I'm also in a wide stance here. Lovely. Good, 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 good. Okay, we're still mobilizing, team. From here, back of chair, we just tap back. So the toe and the ball of the foot taps back, taps back. I'm keeping my body forward and my hips close to the front of the chair in the movement. Interestingly, as I'm doing this, on my shoulders, I've got glasses of water. So as I tap back and use my chair, I'm not swaying and moving because you're going to spill water everywhere. So just take your time as you tap back, stillness through the upper body. Now, why is that magical? That stillness through the upper body tells me that you're engaging your core muscles. So really go for a stillness rather than swaying. And if you can see yourself on camera, you'll see the difference. That's brilliant because you've all gone from this to stillness. So we don't have to use speed. Lovely. Don't you look lush today? You're all right, you are. That's quite strong, isn't it? That, my friends, is core stability. Okay, so let's take this up a notch. We step back and shift weight into the back leg. Step together. Step back and shift weight and step together. Well done. Shift weight, what does that mean? This is allowing us front leg, back leg, front leg, back leg. Close to the chair, away from the chair. If you want to, you can reach and point. So step back, reach and point. You will do that. You will do that at home. Step back, reach and point. Well done. It is still one of my favourite movements, the step back, reach and point. For those who are new to me, you'll think, oh, that's one of her favourite moves. The rest of you will go, every move is a favourite move. Okay, so just rest there for a second. Pump your heels in sit or stand. You want to just following on from what I just said, that every move. Yeah, I just get really excited about anatomy, and it's just wonderful to see you progressing all the time. So I do get carried away, and for that, I'm not sorry. Okay, so let's think about keeping going. Now last week we introduced a walk and a reverse walk, and it all came together by the time we got to strength. So let's do that. Let's walk forward a handful of steps and reverse step back. You don't have to go far if you've got a small amount of space. Just work in that tiny little space. If you've got a little bit further to travel, feel free to do so. But what is important, again, is rolling through the foot in your step back. And rolling through the foot just is such an important thing, because our feet will tell us where we are in space. So rolling through the foot, really important. Can we switch cameras? Camera middle one, please, Pudge. So we're rolling forward, toe heel on the reverse, heel toe as you come to me, toe heel as you toe heel, toe heel, heel toe, heel toe. So all of this is really thinking about our footwork. Our footwork is connected to our pelvic floor and our core work. It helps us with our confidence. And then suddenly we are walking very tall. Well done. Okay, this is great. Forward and backwards. Beautiful, makes me happy. Okay, what if we go side step in? Now last week I just got you going. I just went, just step. Remember that? And I went, don't worry about it. There's no flair, there's no style. Now we start to layer it in. So we're sidestepping. How big is that step? Is it a little step? That's fine, because that's all you feel comfortable with. Fine. Could you make it bigger? Do you need to slow it down to be able to make it bigger? Are your hips okay? Is everything okay? Posture check, somebody's watching you, so nice and tall. Lovely, so your centre's engaged. Switching cameras again, please. When we are side stepping, what does that look like? Is it the whole foot that lands, or is it the ball of the foot that lands? Do you feel safer with your heel? Now here's the thing, when you are at the same height, so just literally step in right to left, no thinking involved. What happens is it is the ball of the foot that lands when you go side to side, okay? When we go with a dip, it tends to be more of a heel land, okay? You keep going, you keep going.
You're looking fab there, team. Keep going.
Okay, and then release.
You can't see me, but I can see you.
And then release. Okay, so can you feel the difference between one and the other? So one is just going side to side, and as you stay at the same height, glasses of water on your shoulders, it is the ball of the foot that lands. When you add in a dip, it's the whole of the foot that lands. Got it? Oh yeah, I tell you, it's all going on here at the moment. When you do this in sit, think about step and lean in. Step and lean in if you're in sit, because you've got a bit of a sway in your body as you do this in sit, okay? I'll come and demonstrate in a moment. Okay, come back to that march. So this is part of a cardiovascular segment, okay? So I'm anticipating, and you can hear it with me, slightly more breathless, because I'm talking, breathing, moving. It's a lot of things to think about. You don't have to talk, you just need to move and breathe, okay? We're going to take 2 steps in one direction. We started this again last week. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Crikey. I think I've still got the wind moving around me. Did you see me there go woo? Unsteady on my feet. Okay, I'm thinking about my toes, the whole of the foot as I'm going side to side. I'm thinking about just staying lovely and upright. That's all I care about right now. There's no style involved, just working side to side, using chairs, walls, support. Galleries in your kitchen are fabulous because you can just have your fingers on just to have that extra bit of feedback so you feel safe. Belly pulled in. So what if we super slowed this down again? Bend the knees a little. Bend the knees. So in my house with my lovely little puppy, you have to be sneaky because otherwise she's there going, what you doing? What you doing? So with a gentle knee, a gently bent knee and a whole foot land, you are slowly moving 2 steps in one direction, belly braced, and then 2 in the other direction. Okay, so really mega quiet. So, and that will feel different to the 2 steps, right? So we're slowing it down. We're really thinking about that core engagement. Tiny, well, small moves, nice and quiet. It's interesting, isn't it? Because in my head, I'm like that, small and quiet, but nice and tall. Quiet, whole foot, knee bend. Well done. Well done. Lovely. Okay. Middle camera Pudge. Right, so now we're moving on. I still need to keep you going. I need to keep that heart rate at a certain level. I'm encouraging you to feel a bit breathless. Don't feel overwhelmed by breathlessness. So think about your own body, your own pacing. Now what we're going to do is to work through a little bit of interval work where we're going to work hard and big, and then we're going to bring it back to recovery. We started on this, really got going on this last week, okay? So marching, this is small move, this is our active recovery move, this is big move, okay? Chair, wall, in sit, same thing. Bottom forward, back away from back of chair, small move, big move. Now what I suggest, if you're in sit, more arms, okay? That's your big move. Okay, so let's have a look at this. 3, 2, 1, big, 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 big move. Lovely. So if you're finding legs are hard to lift, maybe use the arms, because as your arms go overhead, it increases your heart rate. So you have to work harder. Think about your breathing. You do what is absolutely right for you. Or as my youngest would say, you do you, boo. Okay, so nice and big. You've got about 8 seconds to go. Big march, using your breath now. Well done, and then we bring it down. Okay, so now there's a little heel pump, but we never stop still. Just a little bit of movement to the body. If you are in sit, keep pumping the legs, maybe a light march of your arms. Breathing in, quite strongly, breathing out. This is helping us to regulate and come back to our steady state where we began. Do we feel good to go? Are we ready? Let's make it bigger. High knees, swing your arms. Don't forget to use your common sense. It doesn't have to be fast, just needs to be big, whatever that looks like for you. Keep going. It's roughly 20 seconds that we do this for, and it has to be big, and you're looking beautiful. However that's looking, it doesn't have to be fast, just big. Well done. Nearly through. Love you, by the way. 3, 2, to the end. Oh, now you catch your breath, you keep moving those arms, because that blood flow is going whoo, 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 whoo. And now we just need to slow it down and just regulate your breathing. Slow it down. So we need to see that difference between big you and steady state you. If you have stood, you feel a bit overwhelmed and you want to sit, still important to move body parts, okay? Okay, hopefully by now we feel good to go. Okay, here we go. Round 3 of 4, nice and big. Now I'm going really big because what we do know is that the bigger I go, the bigger you go. So I don't want this. Big moves, big moves, big moves. Well done. I'm watching you on Zoom. You look beautiful, nice and big. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Just need to have a little check. Thumb up, John. You all right, John? Give me a thumb up. Yeah. Okay. Is it too much? Use your breath. Pace. Okay, I'm going to call it. That's it. We're done. We're done. But we're staying stood up. All right? Huh? What? Okay. Now, use your breathing. Feet go nice and wide. Going to rock side to side. Feet wide. Rock side to side. Sit or stand. This is wide base sway, which is my favourite move of all time. I do. I absolutely love it. On so many levels. From a balance point of view, it's just the best thing. It's great for stability of your core muscles. Your hips work hard. It also just gives you that lovely sense of, I don't know, freedom, right? Just that lovely well-being. The Isles of Scilly looked like this over the weekend, didn't they, Shell? Everyone on the island was moving. Whew. Okay, so I'm giving you options with your hands. We often use the arms. If you want to progress the movement, but you still feel unsteady in your feet, always hold on. Switching cameras. Okay, so you don't have to let your feet leave the ground either. It's a shift of body weight. But as you do the shift of body weight, what if you took a foot off? What if you took a foot off and hold? Foot off and hold. Tension on through your center, lifting up through your pelvic floor. What if you really hold? And yes, you are going to feel this into your hips. It isn't unusual to feel it in your hips, okay? So that's all normal and it's all really good. It's all really good stuff. So if you want to use your arms, you can. So for me, I don't know about you guys, but you should feel it around the hip and booty, possibly into the legs. You'll feel it in your shoulders. So it's all good. It's all good. Wide base sway, still one of my favorites, especially around balance. Ah, well done. So we've had quite a lot of focus around foot movements today. So I'd like us to think about just striding forward into a diagonal and resetting. So let me demonstrate. Heel, toe, heel, push back, heel, toe. And it kind of goes toe, heel, push back. So I want you to think about, so put thought into this movement, coming out into the corner, and my heel is striking on the forward movement. Now, not only that, I'm landing on my heel and I'm driving through my middle toe, the middle of my foot. Heel, middle of my foot. And by doing that, it will help me to control my knee and the alignment of my knee. Heel, toe. Heel, toe. And I'm really putting some thought into this. So I want to make sure my knees feel safe and that my knees are tracking over the middle of my foot. Now, if this is giving you too much jip, modify. The guidelines are always around to the point of pain, not through pain. We never want to put pain on you. But it is important to strengthen here your legs and really focus on that balance. And release. Good, 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 good. Okay, so with that said, this is all one leg work, right? We're going to try and take a one leg step forward. Now here's the trick, okay? So foot to foot, a straight line. Foot forward, we're coming forward into a triangle. Does that make sense? So I'm going to start with my right leg. So I want my right leg to come to a middle and then back out into a wide base of support. And then I'm going to do the same with my left and then back out to a wide base of support. Quite a lot of thought goes into this. In sit, I want you to come forward into the middle and then wide, forward into the middle and wide. This is really about alignment more than it is anything else at this point, albeit you will tell me that other things are aching, moving. Okay, why? So thinking about where my legs are and that I'm firing up the right things at the right time in your body. So if I show you from the side, you join in when you're ready. Because I'm coming forward, my back leg is lifting or my back heel is lifting. Wide base of support. I'm not rushing this, team. Really don't rush it. So to do this pain-free, we really want to have great foundations, right? Knees off lock, core connected. I'm stepping to the front of the movement. My knee feels strong and I feel confident enough to be able to pause and then push back. Pause and push back. I'm enabling that pause because it's in that pause that we often have that fear caption. Come on, that kind of like, I'm stuck. Okay, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Pause, come back. Lovely. Come on, you in sit. And it is that thing, because do not underestimate the power of the mind, as we will talk ourselves out of everything at any given opportunity, because that's what we do as humans. Okay, so, and our brain is so loud because it will go, I don't like it, I'm stuck. And then when you get into that point, you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm going to fall. And we don't want that. We want you to own this. See that? Hands on hips and everything. It's a lot of effort, and I'm really thankful you're giving this a go. Well done. And release. Oh, finally. Listen, guys, we're going to move on to a bit more strength work now. And to do so, we are going to migrate towards the wall. So when you're ready, let's find the wall. Okay, so we're going to switch to the other camera, not the middle one, the other corner one, if that's okay. Hi. Right. Okay, so the plan is we are working wide base against a wall, wide base legs, wide base hands. The hands aren't high, they're nice and low, And the idea is we're going to push ourselves to the wall and push ourselves off it. If you were in a chair and we can move the chair closer to the wall, the same movement counts, you know. So we can do exactly the same thing, nice and wide, lower and push off it. So basically what I'm saying is there's no excuse. We're really going to focus against the wall today, all right? So let's, hands wide, lower the face, push out of the heel of the hand. That's the important thing here. So not your fingers, the heels of the hand. And by doing that, we are working different elements of our shoulders and our forearms, okay? So I need you to do that, lowering and pushing away. As your confidence builds, you might feel that you can take your feet further back from the wall. So we're increasing the intensity of the movement. Now stop. Pump your heels and listen. There is a textbook way to fall. There's a textbook way to come out of a fall. In the real world, you don't go, I'm going to fall, hang on a minute, I need to do it in this certain fashion. You fall down the side of loos. You fall off beds, you fall because you missed your chair. So there's lots of things that happen and you don't land perfectly. So the next bit I'm going to suggest that we're going to do in terms of upper body is randomly leaving your hands against the wall and try and push yourself off the wall, okay? So the hands will be in different places each time. So wherever you fancy them being safely, we'll give this a go. So a high hand and a low hand. Try that. Try both on one side. And why? You keep going. Why do we do this? We do this because it's never perfect. Life is not perfect. And we need to establish that we're not just using the same muscle fibers all the time. We need to try and get as many muscle fibers all working and functioning, getting stronger. So you have the confidence in even irregular movement patterns. Okay?
Helen, can you just give options for people sitting in a chair who can't get to a wall, please?
So I just demonstrated moving your chair to a wall. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Those that can't move the chair to the wall, so they're just sitting in the chair without anything in front of them.
Well, tabletops. So that would be the other thing. I need you to apply your body force onto something. That's the important thing about this. So even if you're watching today and come back to it, most of you will have a wall space. I really do need you to practice this because it's probably one of the best things we can do to support you. We will come to bands in a minute as a variation. Now take a stop for me. Right, now the next thing I need us to do is to work on the shoulder in terms of pressing one arm off the wall, okay? So again, we can do that if you're in sit and your chair is near a wall. We can look at leaning in and pressing off, okay? Try that, give that a go. Now, that's part one. Part two in stand is putting your shoulder against the wall, walking your feet away and pressing, okay? And then have a little play with it. So the important thing is the push off. If you've got chesticles or mass, it might be difficult to get yourself to wrap that arm around. So just work on that, practice the movement. What you're doing is pushing yourself off the floor with one arm, because again, it isn't unusual for us to have one arm left in a funny position. So, you know, we have to think about your safety. Again, we're going to reinforce this in a minute when we bring on the bands. And then really encourage you to practice and play this bit back. Okay? Okay, other side. Because of course you have two sides. So when you're ready, stretch your fingers in front of you, your hands stand roughly about shoulder height and push away from the wall and back. Okay, so I'm having a little look, see where we're at. From a strengthening point of view here, we're working right side only, left side only, and then both sides together when we're in symmetry. Still think about bracing through your center so you're nice and tall and engaged. Lovely. And then release. Can you please all go and have a little sip of water, because I think I've worn you out. Okay, so Pudge, the corner cameras, so this one and that one, okay? Right. So I've come back down into my chair now because I'd like to do some upper body. From a safety aspect, come and sit, simply because we have to mitigate safety, and it'd be good in the first place as we're learning how to use bands to have that safety caption, so sit is advisable. Unless you've been with me for a while, you know what's coming. You can stand. Do what you need to. The thing is, we have to be over precautious, right? And, you know, we forget about common sense, that if you feel capable, you just do it. We don't want to make you feel that we're constantly doing that safety thing with you. You need to make sure you use your common sense. Okay, so I'm using a tube. Most of you have a flat band. My tube is stretchy, just as your flat band is. And what we're going to do is look at posture to start with. Move away from the back of your chair. Your spine is long and engaged and your shoulder blades are gently drawn together. So we're thinking straight away about posture. So can I switch to the other camera for a second so you can see my profile? Okay, from here to here. And that is quite a challenge just to hold that, okay? So let's for a minute explore that. Just relaxed and then tall. Let me see. That's it. Good, 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 good. Okay, and let's do that again. So we've turned it off and now we turn it back on again. Turn it off. Do you understand the context of this? The turn off, turn on, yeah? So these are our postural muscles, and we talk about posture a lot. In the old days, it was deportment. We used to think about the books on our heads. But we're going to give these postural muscles a bit of support now. And I want us to think about just pulling our arms forward and backwards. At the moment, there is no tension on your band. So I want you to pop your band into your hands. It's there just for visual effect only. Slide your arms forward. Draw your arms in and squeeze your shoulder blades together to lift your chest. So forward and backwards. We're thinking about posture. Forwards, backwards. Draw your shoulder blades together. So I'm feeling like you're engaging your chicken wings. There you go. Right, so the arm goes forward. We draw in and squeeze. Forward and long. Pull your belly into your backbone. Squeeze. Draw your belly into backbone. How important is that bit? So let it go. Pull it in. That's it. That's the difference. Pull it in. Okay, so relax off for a moment. Just to hold that for periods of time can be intense. So let me just demonstrate what we're going to do. We're going to apply tension. So this time with your band, we're just going to draw it apart slightly, just a little bit. So you should, from this point, you're nice and tall, long and locked. Your spine is tall. You stretch your arms apart a little bit. You send your arms forward under tension. Pull your band together and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your shoulder blades, and then relax. And I'm asking you to relax because there's a lot of muscle tension on right the way through that movement. Okay, so tension on, nice and tall, send it forward, under tension, pull back, squeeze, squeeze, and then relax. Okay, set up, under tension, send your band forward, pull it backwards, squeeze, and then relax. So I'm hoping that you can see the change in my back throughout the whole of the movement. So there's 2 more times. It won't be unusual for you to feel it in strange places coming down your spine, okay? It's very normal. Can we go to the front on camera? That one in the other corner. Pudge, there you go, lovely. So you can see the difference. So it's subtle, it really is subtle today. So tall, tension on, come forward, slowly bring it back in, and then squeeze. Relax. Ugh. It's not a good look, I know that. I don't care. Nice and tall and long. As long as we can get the message across to you, the importance of posture, the importance of engaging through your pelvic floor, belly to backbone, nice and tall, long through the spine. You know, as long as we keep reinforcing this, eventually you get super mega strong. Okay, relax, 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 relax. So we tend to do, particularly with strength work, we like to mix it up a little bit. So the next thing I want you to do, I want you to take your band, lift your heels, take your band under the back of your knees and then wrap it around your thighs. What tends to happen is that we grip onto the band for dear life. But here's a tip. Flat hands, press down with your hands, and that will start to engage your core muscles. Okay, nice and tall, nice and braced. Here we go. We're going to push the legs out and in. Lovely. Out and in. I really do need to know there's tension on in your band. Out and in, out and in. Well done, team. So we go nice and wide and in. As for feet, so switch to side profile. Okay, so as for feet, as my knees go wide, I'm rolling to the outside edges of my feet as well. I'm lovely and tall through my spine because it's really easy to cave and lose posture. So I'm really thinking about my lovely long tall spine, pushing the knees out nice and wide, and this time I'm going to hold it there. Tiny, weeny, little presses. Tiny, weeny, little presses. Nice and tall and little presses, tiny, weeny, little presses, and release. Well done. Did you feel that? Strong, isn't it? So it's the outside of the hip. Some of you may started to feel it in the back a little, but it also targets into the pelvic floor. Well done. Okay, last exercise, and then I appreciate we've really refined it all today, so well done. What I'd like us to do is just work on the back of the arm, okay? So if I work in side profile first and then front profile, I've got the band and my hands are palms down, right hand on left knee, okay? That right hand, left knee, so tall and twist. Okay, left hand is going to stretch the band backwards. And have a look at my elbow. It straightens. Neck is long, shoulder down. I'm pushing away. pushing away. Now this, my friends, hurts. It's your triceps. So we're working small muscle group, the back of the arm, but you might be feeling it because we're rotating. You might be feeling it in funny places around your ribs, underneath your shoulder blade. That is all good. So we do 8 and 7 and 6. You're looking good. And 5, ow, ow, nice and tall. 4 and 3, beautiful. And 2. Last time, hello triceps, well done, and then release. Oh, that was mean. Okay, other camera please. So this time, same space between your hands, your left hand, other camera, there he is. So left hand, top of right knee, lovely and tall through your posture. Right hand, we press away and bring it back. So we're twisting, maybe looking over the shoulder at the same time. Going, oh my God, how can something so small be so effective and so uncomfortable? So we're stretching away. Switch back to the side one, the other side one. There you go. So you can see my arms coming back. I don't know about you, but this is really uncomfortable. It hurts. So 6 more to go, and then 5 more to go. Really lengthen, stretch and straighten through the elbow. What's that? 3, yeah? And 2, finish strong, finish strong. Last time, and then release. Well done. Done. Okay, so make yourselves nice and comfortable. I just want us to do a little stretch through the shoulders. So in your session today, we've done quite a lot of work around mobility, particularly around mobilizing the ankle joints and remembering that there's 26 bones in the foot. We've thought about mobility, we've come up, we've done some cardiovascular work, so heart health, training, then we did some balance work, some strength against the wall, really refining the movement, some strength in sat. I'm going to do a little stretch, particularly around the shoulders. So I want you to take your hands and straighten them off. Middle camera, please. Shoulders back and down, and just thumbs down, palms just stretch away. And then release. Good job. Roll one shoulder, then the other. Use your breath. Now we're going to take opposite hands to shoulders. Give yourself a bear hug. Pop your chin on your chest and allow to create a C shape with your back. And that should feel quite nice. Rise up. Release your hands. Well done. Okay, other side. If you can actually remember which was the last way round. Chin to chest, C shape. I'm terrible, honestly. Chin to chest, round out through the back so you're sinking through the spine just to enable that stretch. Notice how your breathing is starting to change. Rise up. Push yourself into the back of your chair. Okay. Rest your hand onto your thighs. If you want to, you can just turn your palms up if you feel nice and comfortable and rested through your shoulders. God, I really felt that with my triceps today. Pudgy, you there? Can we switch to middle camera, please? Lovely. Okay, and then from there, just take some strong breaths in. Exhale. Strong breaths in. Exhale. 2 more of those, please. Exhale. Last time. Exhale. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Think nice and wide so you remain to have that lovely stable base of support. And I really want you to relax. So take that strong breath in, low and deep into the belly. So rather than your shoulders rise up with your breath, push that breath down into your abdomen. Just feel that sink in, that lowering, that deepening of your breathing, taking time. And then release. Good job. Keep your eyes closed just for a few more moments. Making sure you feel comfortable. Now treat the breath in and the breath out as 4 breaths. So the breath in, then there's a pause, and then a breath out, and then a pause. So just work through that flow for a moment. Inhale, strong, into belly, to a pause. Breathe out. And it's almost like a breath hold, isn't it? So you hold in that pause. Breath in. Into a pause. Breath out. To a pause. Breath in. Breath out. Relax your hands to your sides. When you're ready, start to open your eyes. Do me a favour, just roll your shoulders. Wiggle your fingers, send your arms out wide. And then bring your hands together. Well done, in a lovely circle. There you go. Well done, lovely people. And then